What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 64, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Craig Gardner has indeed rejoined one of his former clubs, Sunderland, for £1.9 million. Totally fine with that. The guy was approaching his 30s and already decreasing in stats. Although he's a decent player for us, he was on relatively high wages for a squad player, so I was alright with that deal going off. And also, Tyder looks as though he could be joining us for £5 million, as Inter Milan did indeed accept the transfer offer. We offer him a contract and we'll wait and see what he says, but he didn't like the contract we gave to him. Players just don't want to take pay cuts or any kind of decreases in their salary, which is kind of frustrating because sometimes it does happen. You know, sometimes a player will join a club with not too much money, yet they'll know that they're going to get more game time, so will take a pay cut. It has happened before. It used to happen in FIFA as well. Sometimes I'd offer a player a pay cut and they'd say yes, but unfortunately doesn't seem like in this year's FIFA in career mode that is at all possible. But still, for the first game of today's episode, we take on Shamrock Rovers here at the Hawthorns in a Europa League qualifying round match. And as we take on the Irish side, no disrespect to them, but we fully expected to win. As you can see on my lineup, 11 changes made. Very, well, it's not weak, that's the thing. It's not a weak squad. I was about to say it's very weak. It's not weak at all, but it is a weaker squad than the one we'd usually put out in the Premier League with those 11 changes. And as we looked at the Shamrock Rovers team, we didn't exactly presume we were going to run riot, but we certainly had the aspirations of scoring a few goals because we definitely felt capable as they travelled to England. So as we took on the Irish side, the first chance would indeed fall directly from kickoff as Roberts wins the ball back here, and as Berahino makes a run around the back, he outpaces the defender O'Connor, goes through one-on-one, and it takes 1 minute and 37 seconds to take the lead here against Shamrock Rovers. And the away side, the away fans would have just seen their side concede there in front of the goal. Well, they knew they were going to be in for a long evening. Saido Berahino does make it 1-0. The team celebrate. Very nice ball by Patrick Roberts as well, as he spotted the arch run of Berahino. The home fans can celebrate. They know they're going to be in for a win here tonight. It's the perfect way to begin. So 1-0 to West Brom, and just a few minutes later Will Hughes finds Patrick Roberts again, proving to be a bit of a danger man down the right hand side, cutting inside onto his left foot, tries to curl it to the far corner, and it almost bends in nicely, but unfortunately it does go just wide. But literally right from the off we were pressing and making them pay. Seeing Stasic there win the ball back just by the halfway line and carry on his run to a left wing position, but Berahino doesn't need him because he crosses the ball in himself, picks out Danny Ings, and Ings makes it 2-0 to West Brom just before the 10-minute mark. So Ings makes it 2-0 and things off to the perfect start here. What we didn't want was a really nervy, tense first half where we don't really get into the game and Shamrock Rovers try and make us feel a little bit pressured. We wanted a really fast start and a couple of goals, settle all the nerves, and that's exactly what we had here. And in the 18th minute it could have been 3-0 here. Danny Ings crosses the ball in and Berahino really should have scored, but unfortunately he couldn't get his second goal of the game as it goes wide from the header. And from the goal kick, Murphy eventually will play this ball forward here. He plays it long. Yannick Vestergaard, as per usual, goes up for a header and wins it. The big 6'6" giant. It comes to Berahino. Lovely half volley ball through to Danny Ings. He's one-on-one and he hits the side netting. So both of those players already had a goal each, but they could have had 2 or 3 together as they were playing very well. But half time it was still 2-0, and in the second half we wanted a really fast start, just like the first half. So as Ings gives the ball to Berahino here, it comes back to Danny Ings, into Berahino, quick little pass to Will Hughes, stops the ball, dummies, waits for Danny Ings' run, picks him out, stops the ball here with the fake shot eventually, puts the defender on the floor, shoots from a tight angle, but unfortunately hit the post and goes out for a goal kick. So Danny Ings collapsing on the floor. He'd already missed quite a few chances despite having 1 goal. As you can see in the top left, we'd had 7 shots already in 47 minutes and looking very strong indeed. And from the goal kick, Dawson goes up for a header and wins it. It comes to side of Berahino, lets the ball run through his legs, goes down the left hand side, and this is a really nice finish. Chips the ball over the goalkeeper and puts it into the back of the net. Chip goals, I don't score them as much as I used to. In FIFA 12 and 13, chips were really easy to score, but in 14 not too many, and in 15 as well. FIFA 15 I barely struggled to score any chip goals at all, but even so that was a really nice finish there with the L1 and circle over the goalkeeper into the back of the net, and it's West Bromwich Albion 3, Shamrock Rovers 0, as Berahino has 2 of the 3 goals tonight. So 3-0 up here, and as the crowd are celebrating, we're pleased to be 3-0 up, and Shamrock Rovers, well, straight from kickoff give the ball away to Danny Ings, who intercepts Kenner, slips over, Ings goes through one-on-one, reverse step step overs around the goalkeeper and puts it in to make it 4-0. So the crowd didn't even need to sit down. They may as well just kept on standing up and celebrating, because as Danny Ings runs clear from kickoff, he was always going to score. Makes it 4-0 with 50 minutes on the clock. And well, the first half we got off to a really fast start. The second half exactly the same. West Brom 4, Shamrock Rovers 0. And you know, tonight's game was a formality. We knew we were going to win it with relative ease, but you know, it was still very nice to be putting in a really good shift and a good performance as well. So West Brom 4, Shamrock Rovers 0. And again from kickoff, Shamrock Rovers didn't really do a very good job at retaining hold of the ball in this game. They backheel it straight to Will Hughes, who plays the ball to Jordan Abita down the left hand side. Great chance here, drills in across, picks out Danny Ings. It goes through the goalkeeper's legs, but it's cleared off the line, and Ings is prevented from scoring a hat-trick there. So still 4-0, and not much really happened until the 90th minute mark. To be honest, I was taking it a bit easy, just sort of relieving the pressure a little bit. But as Chris Brunt played the ball through to Danny Ings, Ings did indeed get his hat-trick and made it 5-0 in stoppage time. I'd actually taken off Berahino at this stage. He was quite tired, but Ings got his hat-trick himself, made it West Brom 5, Shamrock Rovers 0, and it was how the game would finish. So very, very good performance, and yeah, it was an easy game, and we knew we were going to win, but we still had to do it. And Ings with a hat-trick, Berahino with 2 was very nice to see indeed. And yeah, I mean, the reverse leg in Ireland, we'll be putting out a weaker side again. We know we're already through now to the group stage, which is great, but even so, a good performance is always nice, regardless of who you play against, and that's exactly what happened there. And following that, a transfer came in for Mbaye Niang, and PSG wanted him for 26 million. That is 19.5 million pounds more than he's valued at, but I still said no, because even though that is a huge amount of money, that's a really, really big fee for Niang. I just don't want to sell the guy, because he's up to a 78 now. We brought him when he was a 75, I think it was. That was at the start of last season. Top goal scorer last season, won the Golden Boot, our best player by far. And you know, he's got off to a good start this season as well, with a goal in his opening game. There's no reason to sell Niang, do you know what I mean? If PSG came in with a bid of like £50 million or possibly a bit more than that, I'd say yeah, I probably would, because we could just completely re-strengthen the West Brom squad and make it into a really, really good one. But Niang makes this squad a good one on his own. You know, that's the importance of having a player like Niang. You know, he makes the squad good on his own, and that's you know, he's 78 overall. There are a few players that have got higher ratings than him, but in my opinion, he is the best player in this team. And that's one thing I've always said about FIFA. I really wish they'd change in career mode. When a player has a ridiculously good season, he deserves a big upgrade going into the next season. But anyway, you never know, maybe they'll do that next year, we never know, do we? But still, we take on Manchester City for the second and final game of today's episode, and the first chance would fall here in the 7th minute. We pass the ball around really nicely, and as Malumbi finds Henderson, he chips it through to Brown Ade. Karim Rakik is out of position, and that was a really, really big let off for the Dutch defender there. Ade just completely switched around the back of him. Rakik was in no man's land, and we should have made it 1-0 there, but we didn't. But in the 15th minute, City get the ball away again. It comes to Kevin Savanier, who fake shots around Mangala, and that is a brilliant finish by our scout future star. Absolutely brilliant goal, as he fake shots around the last man, smashes it in off the far post. No chance for Willy Caballero, and it is West Bromwich Albion 1, Manchester City 0. So perfect start. We beat City 1-0 late on in last season, and we're off to a great start here as we make it 1-0. Great finish by Savanier, who I am probably going to play him ahead of Wellington Silva this year, because Silva, he was okay last year, but nothing special. So I think Savanier deserves a run in the first team, at least in the beginning of the season, and that was a brilliant way to show he deserves it. Fantastic finish, and we're 1-0 up here thanks to the teenager. And in the 25th minute, Foster kicks the ball out and Carrillo gets onto it, gets past James Milner, plays a brilliant through ball into Niang, who tries to round Caballero, and that's just how good Niang is. You know, he doesn't mean to score, but he scores it regardless, because as I tried to round Caballero there, it seems to just get caught underneath the body of the Argentine goalkeeper and just squirm underneath him and go into the back of the net. And Niang claims it. I'm not sure he deserves to claim it, but he's going to claim it regardless. Rakik out of position again, and we capitalised there. Niang getting the goal, his second of the season so far, and it is West Brom 2, City 0. We were playing so well in this game, you know, we really were. Passing the ball around really, really nicely, and that's something I failed to do on FIFA this year a lot, you know. I used to be pretty good at retaining possession, but this year not so much. But as you can see, I was passing the ball around really nicely. Niang strikes it from range and it almost goes in. but still 2-0. And in the 69th minute, City come forward themselves with Gael Clichy down the left-hand side, inside towards Edinson Cavani. The Uruguayan strikes it, but it hits the top of the bar, and eventually Guerrero can't outmuscle Rodriguez, but does win it back. It comes to Bacary Sagna into Fernandinho. The Brazilian turns his man and finds Jesus Navas, who shoots, and Foster turns the ball around for a corner and keeps it at 2-0. So still 2-0 here in City. They kept on giving the ball away. Their passing was really poor in this game, unlike ours, and as Ade collects the ball here, he rolls it out wide towards Andre Carrillo. Great ball into the centre, and Wellington Silva, who came off the bench, makes it West Brom 3, City 0. And I couldn't find the animation, unfortunately, so sorry about that. But still, West Brom 3, City 0. Silva off the bench getting the goal, and a really good finish there. Carrillo getting the assist. He's looked very impressive as well in the opening couple of games. Carrillo, really good signing, he could prove to be. Gets an assist there and makes it 3-0. So West Brom 3 and Manchester City 0. Fantastic result as things stand. And in the 87th minute here, Bacary Sagna gives the ball away as he's scared of getting hurt as Berahino dives in for the challenge there, jumps out of the way, a bit too weak. It comes to Ricardo Rodriguez, and our left back goes on a run and scores to make it 4-0. And this was such a routine game. This was unlike the City over the last 2 years where I've struggled to play against them. They were unbelievably poor, and it just goes to show you as well how easy it is to score arched run goals in this game. You know, it really is. All you got to do is cut in from the left to the right or the right to the left, and the players just don't have the agility. They turn like a linebacker, they really do. And it's a really good finish by Rodriguez regardless to get his first goal in the West Bromwich Albion shirt. The final score was 4-0, a fantastic result, and what a start to the season. 3 games, 3 big wins, and 3 clean sheets. Fantastic start. But as always guys, a big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, then please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.